Hey everybody, welcome back to part 2 of the KT3 build. Been out here for a little bit tonight, trying to get some stuff ready. I got a few things I'm going to do tonight. Going to work on the steering, I believe. I got to cut down a heim joint to make sure the steering shaft will fit right. And then I'm going to hook up the sweet collapsible steering shaft. And I'm trying to think what else we got to do. Shifters I think need to go in tonight. I got to work on the pull bar. We're going to have to go out to the spring smasher and mess around with that. Todd stopped over yesterday and he was able to pull the tranny out of this car and get it swapped. So that's ready to go on this one. So now pretty much that car needs a body and a couple little things on the left rear that got tore up down in Florida. But other than that, this thing's getting pretty close as well. So yesterday I was able to come out for a little bit and we got the rear end hanging up in it. So that was a good sign. Got that up in there. So one less thing we got to do. Luckily Todd was here and gave me a hand boosting that thing up in there. So yeah, I'm gonna get going on some stuff. I'm gonna chop that heim up, get this steering shaft put in, get that all locked down, and then we'll see what we can figure out from there. Remember kids, safety first. So as you can see, cut it short enough. Now it'll go on there. Before the heim joint was about, I don't know, 1/4 inch, 3/8 of an inch too long. So when I had the steering shaft already hooked up to the steering box and all that stuff, I didn't feel like dinking with, so cut that down, and now it's about perfect. With a little left to spare there. So that was easy enough. Didn't cut any limbs off or anything like that, so got that done. Now it's time to hook up the sweet collapsible shaft. I was waiting on this part here to come from Weir's. This here bolts to the bar up underneath the dash, clamps on there like with there, and then we have our adjustable collapsible steering shaft. Most guys run these collapsible ones. It's a little bit of a safety deal. Get into a bad wreck on the front end when it folds that back. Say you fold the front clip back, that collapses down and it gives you a little bit leeway, I guess you'd say, until if you had just a straight shaft running from the steering box to the steering wheel, you get in a bad wreck, that thing's going to shove that steering shaft right into you, and it's not going to be good. So Sweet, I don't know if they were the first ones, but they come out with these collapsible shafts years and years ago, and I'm guessing it helped save quite a few lives over the years. So we've always ran them in our stuff. Sweet, as far as steering boxes and steering shaft, we have them in all of our cars. Probably the best stuff on the market when it comes to that. Top-notch equipment. Never had any failures in 12 years or however long I've been racing. So we're gonna put this one in there and see how that goes. All right, so you can see we got this mounted up in there. Just got it kind of snug down right now. Everybody likes their steering wheel in a little bit different spot, up, down, side to side. So I just kind of got it in there and set up, and once I get the seat mounted in, get set in the seat, I'll be able to see, kind of where I want the wheel as far as, side to side, and if I need to move it up or down or whatever. But yeah, it's real easy to do. Like I said, it's just those 2 bolts go up under here, and then you got to obviously hook the steering shaft. You can see that set screw down there. You want to make sure that is hooked there, because if you don't, you'll grab the wheel and pull it off and you will have a handful of nothing, because you'll be spinning out and doing all sorts of stuff. So yeah, so I got that all done. Like I said, once I get the seat mounted in there, get comfortable in that, then we will adjust on that shaft. Luckily, like I said, you can just slide it right on that bar side to side, and or swivel it, however you want to do it, you know. So real nice piece Weers makes, and comes in handy, you know, for this type of stuff. So yeah, I got that done. I got to get a hold of Ryan down at Diamond, figure out something on these brake lines. A little bit different than the last car, so I just want to make sure I'm doing it right before I go ahead and do it. So I'll probably work on that maybe tomorrow night. I think tonight, I think I'm going to get the maybe J-bar hooked up on the rear end, get that rear end squared in there, and then maybe run out to the trailer and get on the spring smasher and run that thing up and down, and make sure I got that thing set right, and maybe put that in tonight. Got a set of brake pads on order. Notice these pads are pretty well shot from last year, so put all new brake pads on it. We run the Hawk brake pads, ran them forever, seem like they do a good job. So but yeah, we're getting smaller parts pile going here. It's actually pretty awesome. We just got a few minor things left to do, and then obviously the big motor, we gotta get that put in there, and that's the tranny Todd took out. We gotta get cleaned up and sent down to Bryn. Hopefully we can get that sent out this week. Luckily we had a spare tranny in the shop, so he got that in there today. So, but yeah, I'm gonna get back to work here and see if I can bust some more shit out. So we are out here tonight, and I think we are gonna work on getting the motor in. It's a Melcut 16 degree 415. We've had this engine since I think 2012 or 2013 actually. It's been a hell of a motor. We did have some issues with it after a freshen not too long ago, a couple years ago, but Brad got her fixed up, and it's a badass motor. Probably the best engine I've ever had as far as drivability, and still has a lot of power. Brad's pretty modest with his dyno numbers, and I think he said when he dynoed it last, I think it was right around 740, something like that, as far as horsepower. But drivability is just unreal in this thing. I've had a few different engines over the years and had a little bit more power, but this thing, when it comes to just being so smooth, it's unreal, really. But yeah, so we're out here tonight. We're gonna try and get that thing in there. There's a few other things I got to do still as far as the suspension and stuff like that, but Motor State's currently, Lane Automotive, currently out of order right now, so we can't really order anything. I'm waiting on a few things to finish a couple things up, but so I figured I was out here, I can get this stuff in by myself, so let's see if we can do her. The motor is in. Took a little bit of work to get her in there. They changed the motor mounts a little bit on these cars, so it took a little bit of persuasion, but got her in there. So that's one thing off the list, one big thing that it's always a pain in the ass to do. So next few steps, I think we're going to work on doing transmission, bell housing, and drive shaft. Waiting on a radiator mount to come, hopefully by the end of the week. We can get that in, and then hopefully by the end of the weekend, possibly get this thing wicked off. She hasn't been ran in a while, so hopefully no issues there, but we got to do headers too. I gotta go look for some header gaskets, but yeah, so it's in there. Happy got it in there. So now we will work on the next project. All right, so we got the tranny, bell housing, and drive shaft in it. So pretty much all the drive lines hooked up. Just gotta hook up the clutch line on the tranny, hook up the shifter rods. Other than that, we'll be working on probably the carburetor. I gotta get the starter in, and then obviously the headers on it. Hopefully I get that radiator mount in here this week, get the radiator in it, and get the power steering lines hooked up. Maybe we'll work on that tomorrow. But overall, pretty successful night, I think. Got some stuff done. Took a little bit longer than what I was hoping, but new car and stuff like that, sometimes stuff's a little bit different, but you'll have that. But overall, we are making progress. The pile of parts is getting a lot smaller, so we'll check back with you guys tomorrow. Yeah, I forgot to mention, we got some new additions in the shop. We got some chassis dollies. They could just go up under the frame there. Got the wheels on them, little casters. They wheel around real nice, especially when you're by yourself in the shop and you got to get cars moved around. I got mine set up so when it's on the lift, I can just set it right down, right on them, and they move around real nice. It's nice, you know, one-person job moving cars around, especially if you ain't got a lot of room in your shop and you just need to move it over a little bit and you don't want to back the car up, move it forward, and all that stuff. It just sits on them, and really like them. They wheel around real nice. I think it's Dowdy Welding and Fabrication. He's out of Alabama. Comes with all the hardware. I think he does bolt together ones and welded together ones. I got the bolt together ones, and took me about 20 minutes to assemble them, and they are it's held the car up so far. So no, really happy with them. Might have to order another set of them here soon. So I figured I'd throw that out to you guys. I don't know if you've ever seen them before, but they work real nice in the race shop. Another night, another third shift at CTR. Tonight we're going to be working on some motor stuff. I'm going to get the headers bolted on. Got our Bea tri-wise going to put on there. And we got a carburetor, starter, and fuel log we're going to get on there tonight. I was just out in the trailer, got the pull bar smashed, length set on that, so that's ready to go in as well. Penske got me my shocks today, so can't thank John and them guys enough for busting ass and getting me my stuff. Sent them down there after Florida, and they got them rebuilt and sent back. So yeah, we're going to get after it here. Actually, it looks like I got a little bit of a oil leak down there. I'm going to have to figure out what that is. Might just be leaking out of the oil filter line deal or fittings right there. We'll get it figured out. But yeah, I'm going to get to work. So after further evaluation, the Bea tri-Y does not fit on this side. Luckily, I had a set of Schoenfields laying around, and they go right up in there. So, looks like we're going to be running Schoenfield headers on this car. Not quite sure why it doesn't fit on there. Might have to get a hold of Bea or Ryan down at Diamond and figure out. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. I don't know. It's pretty easy to put a header on, but no. So this car is going to have Schoenfields on it. So let's get bolting them things on. Alright, get this carburetor put on here. Hopefully we don't have any issues on this. But overall the cars went together all right. I mean, new car, new design, you're gonna have some hiccups here and there. Luckily I had that set of headers or else we'd be kind of screwed on that, but I'm gonna have to talk to Bay and see if I can get a different end on that. Comes out a little bit further. Just got into that door bar a little bit and didn't really want to have to hit the header or something to make it fit, so we'll get her. No, we're gonna get this carburetor sitting on here. Take this lift cover off here and quick fuel carburetor. Brad recommended, Mel cut there. He does all my carb work for these motors. He's kind of a wizard when it comes to carburation and all that fun stuff, which I don't know shit all about, so I just run whatever he tells me to run. We're wanting to get down to Willys. I'd like to switch at least my crate stuff, since this open stuff's kind of going away up here, but I'd like to get my crate stuff on the Willys carburetor. They seem to be the hot ticket nowadays. I've talked to Will, the kid, there a few times, and we've talked about it. It's just a long ways to go. I mean, you can order all the stuff and have them ship it to you, but I'd rather take the car right down there. They have their own chassis dyno. You can, once they fine tune it and everything, they put it on the dyno and they can kind of tune on it some more, make sure they get the most power they can out of it. Especially with them crate motors, there's no power, so any little bit you can get is a good thing, I guess. That's that. We'll hook up the return springs here. Actually, they're not really return springs. They're springs to stiffen the pedal up a little bit. There we go. Sounds like I need to do a little bit of lubrication in there. It's a little crusty. She hasn't been ran in a while, so we will we'll get some lube on that. Yeah. There's carburetor. Alright, so I got the starter on there. I got the fuel log on the carburetor. I was working on the pull bar, getting that in there so the rear end's done, but I need a little bit longer bolt for the front side of it on the frame, so we'll have to wait to do that till tomorrow. But yeah, this is going to be it for part 2. Look for part 3 maybe next week sometime. We're just waiting on some parts from Lane Automotive. They're shut down right now. Computers are down and stuff, so just waiting on some stuff from them, and we can get this thing pretty well wrapped up. We got, I mean, the pile is dwindled significantly. Got my seat, radiator. I didn't get to the power steering lines. We'll do that another day. That's kind of a pain to get all hooked up on there, but really there's not a whole lot left. Like I said, just waiting on a few parts and we can finish this thing up. Get the body put on, get the wrap put on. The wrap's already here, so that thing's ready to go. Body's already cut, bent, everything just needs bolted on. So yeah, hopefully we can get them parts here in the next few days, maybe beginning of next week, and we can get this thing finished up. We can wick it off, and yeah, she's gonna be ready to go. But like I said, I appreciate everybody watching. Just make sure to hit that subscribe button. You know, it really helps the channel grow, and Like the video, comment on the video, do all that fun stuff. It's really easy to do, so I'd appreciate it. But yeah, it just helps me keep doing this. So we just appreciate everybody watching, and like I said, look for part 3 probably, I'd say sometime next week, as long as we can get some parts. You know, we're kind of, I mean, we're not really at a standstill, but pretty close. You know, I got to get that seat mounted. That's a 2-person job, so maybe we'll try and do that maybe this weekend or something. But no, like I said, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it.